I know someone who despises Bill Clinton and, in fact, gave a lot of money to Bob Dole in 1996, supported Kenneth Starr, actually helped fund some nonprofits related to Ken Starr, helped fund some ad campaigns against Bill Clinton. Doesn't like Hillary Clinton. I know this person. She tells me the story, how she was invited, being a very wealthy person and generous donor. She was invited to an event. Bill Clinton was going to be at the event. The person who organized the event for his nonprofit did not know how much she despised Bill Clinton. And unbeknownst to her, she knew Clinton was going to be at the event. She was honored to come. What she did not know was that the person organizing the event was going to arrange for her to meet Bill Clinton. She had no idea. She did not like Bill Clinton, had fundraised against Bill Clinton, despised Bill Clinton, met Bill Clinton, said as much as she hated the man, and he knew who she was and the amount of money he had spent, or she had spent on him, against him. And he was charming and gracious and joking and humble and just schmoozed her. She said she left like Bill Clinton orbited around her, like it was all of his attention in the world was on her. And she said in that moment, despite all of her hatred, despite all of her disgust, she knew this man was an incredible politician. And you got that on stage last night. These Democrats who canceled Bill Clinton, who canceled him, who wanted nothing to do with him because of the Me Too movement, he had them eating out of the palm of his hands last night.
Now let's cut to the chase. I am too old to gild the lily. 2 days ago, I turned 78, the oldest man in my family for 4 generations. And the only personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
You may not like him. He's got good one-liners, except he also said this.
And then he did something that's really hard for a politician to do. He voluntarily gave up political power. And George Washington knew that, and he did it. And he set the standard for us serving 2 terms before it was mandatory. It helped his legacy, and it will enhance Joe Biden's legacy.
Let's also be honest that if the 22nd Amendment, now I can't remember all of a sudden, the term limits, is it the 20 or is it the 22nd Amendment? Yes, it is the 22nd. I did know that. If the 22nd Amendment did not exist, William Jefferson Blythe Clinton would still be running for president of the United States, despite all of his, George Washington and Joe Biden voluntarily. Joe Biden did not. This is Chris Wallace. Come on, Chris.
Well, the word that everybody is using to describe tonight is bittersweet. It's just bitter. The fact of the matter, I'm not saying Joe Biden is bitter, but, it's like you've been thrown out a window, and as you're falling, you go, gee, it's nice out here. No, he got thrown out of a window, and basically he was forced. There's going to be a lot of talk tonight about how generous it was of him and selfless of him. He was basically forced out by Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. And I suspect even the fact that there has been this surge of enthusiasm since he left and Kamala Harris took his place, that's got to be pretty tough, too. You got thrown out of a window and everybody's applauding the person who's now in the room.
Yes. Absolutely right. It was essentially a coup. That's what's going on here. It's essentially a coup. And Bill Clinton saying he was voluntarily thrown out? No, that's not true. But I want to focus on something else Bill Clinton said. And my apologies. I looked for I watched it live, and it passed over so many people. I couldn't find the clip of it. But it was the most notable part, I thought, of Bill Clinton's speech. Because one of the things Clinton said was, listen, I'm not going to try a bad Bill Clinton impression. And my gosh, he sounded old. I mean, he's 78, but wow. But one of the things Clinton said was, these are your neighbors who support Trump. They used to be our people. And he knows this because when he was president in 1994, the Republican Revolution happened. Newt Gingrich and Republicans swept back into Congress for the first time in over 40 years. States in the South began flipping to the GOP. It was comfortable having elected Bill Clinton in 1992. Many of these states, like Georgia, began rapidly shifting to the GOP. Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, they began this massive shift. And they reacted to Bill Clinton's character and his foibles and failings. And they were put off by his health care grab, Hillary Care at the time they called it. He put Hillary Clinton in charge of a massive government expansion of health care, and it radicalized people against him in the Midwest and the South. He had portrayed himself as a reasonable, moderate, centrist Democrat, not one of those wackadoo socialists, and then proposed a socialist health care system. A lot of those Democrats became Republicans overnight. And the shift kept going on into the 2000s, happening now with working class voters, many of whom were Democrats. It's a competing message between Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Barack Obama is the man who said, take a gun to a knife fight, get in your neighbor's face and argue with them. Barack Obama is the man who stood on stage and lamented the deep divisions that Donald Trump has brought to America and then spent 30 minutes attacking the right in visceral terms for what they believe in. Barack Obama is a demagogue who is divisive. Barack Obama is the guy who believed his strategy for winning in 2008 was to micro-target people and get those people to not so much love him as hate their neighbor. Remember, Barack Obama's campaign was the first campaign that sent mail pieces to people saying, hey, your neighbor is a Republican and voted. You haven't voted. Are you going to vote? Barack Obama, yes. I'm not making that up. Barack Obama and his campaign for 2012 against Mitt Romney pioneered harassing people by sending them mail pieces saying your neighbor's a Republican and voted. You're going to go vote. That's what Barack Obama did. Barack Obama and the media has priapism when it comes to Barack Obama. He can do no wrong. He's some sort of saint. He's a religious icon. Remember all the media shots of him with the presidential seal behind him, making him look like he was a saint? The media loves the guy. The guy specialized in divisive, cutthroat politics, division, not unity. And Bill Clinton last night stood on stage and said, hey, don't be afraid to disagree with your neighbor, but remember they're your neighbor. This is how far gone the Democrats are from Bill Clinton. That Bill Clinton could stand on that stage last night and get a muted reception for saying, don't hate your neighbor who supports the other side. They were once our people, don't hate them. And the Democrats, it fell on deaf ears compared to Barack Obama's division, get in their face, fight, argue, take a gun to a knife fight, telling Hispanic voters Republicans are your enemies. Bill Clinton stood on stage and said, these people aren't your enemies. They used to be with us. We got to get them back. The difference is this. Bill Clinton had to learn at a time in American politics where the parties were drifting apart, and he had to build coalitions with the left and the right. Bill Clinton famously built a coalition with the right to balance the American budget and pass welfare reform. Barack Obama's path forward was to harness the power of the left to get things done when he had control, and when he didn't have control, to use executive orders that were all undone by Donald Trump. As much as the media and the left will hagiify Barack Obama, Saint Barack, Barack Obama was a less effective president than Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton built bipartisan coalitions to get things done. And you saw that division on stage 2 nights ago. Barack Obama claiming that the right is the demagogue and visceral, while he himself being a demagogue and visceral, and Bill Clinton being a loyal partisan Democrat on stage last night, playing up the Democratic Party as if it's his favorite sports team, and then telling Democrats, don't hate the other side. The fact of the matter is, so much of the media and the left and the people on that stage pour their hopes and dreams into crushing the other side and hating the other side. This is no longer the party of Bill Clinton. It is the party of Barack Obama. It's an interesting, unique division. And we'll hear Kamala Harris tonight and see which side she's on. And I assure you that her side is not going to be with the let's persuade them we're good. It's going to be to persuade them that their own side is bad and they should reject it. The entire Democratic strategy for this convention has been to trot out Republicans to tell Democrats what they want to hear about the Republican Party. And only Bill Clinton was the one willing to stand up and say, these aren't bad people, we just disagree with them. And the result? Not even a viral clip on the internet because everyone wanted to move on from it.